What the city is talking about. This is Montreal Now on News Talk Radio, CJAD 800.
Good evening, Dan Delmar, Justine McIntyre, in for Aaron Rand. Time for James MENNIE of the Montreal Gazette. Good evening, James.
Hi, guys.
The Liberals are arguing about the candidate being parachuted into LaSalle-Villemard. We're going to have one of the candidates who was hoping to get that nomination but didn't tomorrow on the program. But, James, I'm wondering, why all the arguing? Can't they just come together and realize that they're going to lose that riding anyway?
Oh, well, you know, I know you like to throw a big rock into a very small pond there, Dan, but the fact of the matter is I've spent more time writing stories about Justin Trudeau parachuting candidates into super safe riding. And I thought, at least, you know, given the current context where the Liberal Party isn't enjoying the best of fortunes, as you quite rightly alluded to, you think he'd lay off. But no, and it just... When you consider back in 2015, and I know a lot of what Trudeau said back in 2015 has proven to be absolutely untrue. Unkept promises made a very, very, breathless and sincere tone of voice, but promises that proved to be lies nonetheless. Ridings will be choosing, the best candidate on their own. He's imposed his will. He tried it. I remember he tried it in Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent pushed back. He tried it in Mount Royal, and Mount Royal very notably pushed back, and that's why their MP is now Anthony Housefather. But yeah, the whole thing stinks. And for a guy whose own future is on the bubble, for a guy who is perceived as limping and quacking no matter where he goes, as a lame duck leader of a party that he has largely helped, throw into disarray. It's kind of weird that he's calling the shots. It's kind of weird that he's saying, this is going to be the candidate, and that's it. And I know, your tongue was only somewhat in your cheek when you uttered the prospect of defeat. But as we've said on this show on more than one occasion, guys, there is no such thing as a safe federal Liberal seat in this country anymore.
At the same time, I mean, if he is going to go ahead and hand pick a candidate, usually that kind of treatment would be reserved for a superstar.
Yeah,
right?
Someone who people have heard of.
Exactly. That's what's so confusing about this.
Chosen,
no offense to the candidate chosen.
Come on.
No, yeah. But the thing is, guys, don't forget, we're in a rather different context here. We're in a rather different context because, as you quite rightly point out, Dan, a Liberal victory is not a lead pipe cinch. It's difficult. You can recruit stars when they look like they're going to be, they're punching their ticket to a cabinet post. But when they may wind up in the opposition for 4 years, trying to rebuild a party that from the ground up after it has been essentially demolished by Justin Trudeau, that to me is not a huge lure for a lot of people, so-called star quality. And once again, no offense to anybody who's seeking the nomination in that riding. And in fact, when you look at who is seeking the nomination in those ridings, they're quality candidates. But as you say, they are not stars. They are not immediately recognizable. They are not. Oh, that person's going to be that person's going to be the external affairs, and that person's going to be for sure that they got a lock on the finance portfolio. Those days are gone, which is fine. Okay, I understand that times change. But why doesn't Justin Trudeau understand that? Why doesn't he understand that maybe, you know what, just let nature take its course. You're going to win, you're going to win. You're going to lose, you're going to lose. But quite frankly, if things go south for the Liberals in LaSalle and Marne Verdun, they will not be blaming the candidate. They will be blaming Justin Trudeau. And you know what? They'll be right.
Yeah, absolutely. On Peel Street, do you want to come back to the Grand Prix Fiasco, Terrace-gate? Anything new there?
Listen, guys, I don't know if you saw it. My colleagues, Michel Lalonde and Andy Riga over at the Gazette have done a deep dive into that entire fiasco that saw Montreal fire inspectors shutting down restaurants the first night of Grand Prix weekend. I thoroughly recommend that you guys and everybody who can hear my voice go over to MontrealGazette.com and take a look at it. It's the kind of story I love. There are no good guys. Everybody screwed up on this one, whether it was the restaurateurs, the fire department, City Hall, borough officials, City Hall officials, mayor's office officials, you name it. everybody screwed it up. The expression "perfect storm of stupid" occurred to me when I was reading this, looking at this incredible. Because when you look at this stuff, you say, no, nobody could be this incompetent. Surely there's a hidden thing going on here that we don't know about that will explain it. And the results that Andy and Michelle have come up with is no, actually there isn't. This is all naturally occurring incompetence that, quite frankly, left our tourism minister quite rightly saying she was embarrassed and ashamed. And you really have to ask yourself, in the light of what else is going to come out on this, because let's face it, there's going to be lawsuits, whether the provincial government, given the perception of how much money Grand Prix, it brings to Montreal, but it also brings to Quebec, whether there should be more provincial oversight on what the heck is going on in the city of Montreal during what is perceived as a world-class event, rather than this kind of dog and pony show that, as I say, read it, you will not believe what you're reading, but it is in fact what happened.
I'm struck by, well, first of all, the quality of reporting, which by Andy Riga and Michelle Lalonde, they really get to the answers. But I'm also struck by the fact that they don't leave the restaurateurs blameless. They certainly take aim at the city, but not the restaurateurs not getting a free pass there.
Not. And I got to tell you, guys, when I first heard about this story as it was unfolding, I said something stinks here because there's got to be something going on with the restaurants here that doesn't make any sense. And there was indeed. From the findings of our piece, that the restaurateurs were not doing I don't know if it was all of them, but some of them were not doing what they'd been told to. But on the other hand, the fire department was not showing up when it was supposed to. It's like 101 stupid things that led up to a fiasco, which honestly we can only hope will not be repeated, fingers crossed, in time for the next Grand Prix. And who knows, maybe by the time it does roll around, the Legault government will be taking a lot more, how can I put it, a much closer interest in how the organization at the city level is going on.
If any sociologists or pundits want to make a deeper cultural argument to explain this, James, can you back me up? Please don't. Just don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just astounding. It's just because sometimes, it's a cigar is cigar and a stupid is stupid. And think of all the stories that you've covered about the city of Montreal just walking into one rake after another, and this seems to have been what happened relentlessly over the space of 10 days.
Thanks very much, James.
Thanks, James.